Welcome back to Uncensored with me, JK. Now, the Premier League is back. I'm a West Ham supporter, which means I spent the opening weekend of the season being steamrolled by a big bloke from Norway. Elsewhere, the focus was on that perennial question of the modern game, to knee or not to knee. Now, the league says it's ready to move on. Players will no longer routinely take the knee before games, only, it says, at significant moments. Well, several clubs considered the start of the season significant enough. Players from West Ham, Palace, Spurs, Liverpool and Arsenal all did it anyway. So the big question, vacuous virtue signalling or something that is still a powerful stance against racism on a major platform? I'm joined now by a legend, ex-England, West Ham, Bolton and Notts County manager and many more. The legend that is Sam Allardyce, who, welcome, my friend.
Welcome, man. Thank you very much.
Are you back taking the knee?
I'm back taking the knee, absolutely. I think it is time that it moved on. I think there's a time when I didn't realise it was 2 years or more since we first started taking the knee. But I'd have to say what's coming out now is the right way forward, where gradually they are doing it less and less. And as the PFA chief executive said, it's an individual choice now for me.
It is.
It's an individual choice where if you feel comfortable doing it, do it. Yeah. And if you don't, you should be allowed not to.
I think it's all about impact, isn't it? And when you see, I said it last week, when you see footballers doing it and the people in the terraces are clapping, those are the people that don't need to be taught about racism. And I wonder, I said it last week, mate of mine Dave suggested this, I wonder whether clubs, chairmen, players should get out in the community and use their fame and their success to spread the word about anti-racism that way rather than taking the knee. Not against it, but I just wonder whether it is what it was.
Well, there's a huge amount of work done in the community, particularly at your club, by the way. A very, very good community programme, West Ham, indeed, like you mean, where they get out in the months, whether they're doing it in terms of the racism side or not. But every player's contracted to do 7 hours a week, not the players. They ask them to do 7 hours a week with a schedule, but they all turn out. Most of the players turn out, and of course West Ham, the most popular player who turned out most was Mark Noble.
He was. Let's talk about the beginning of the Premiership season. Are you missing it?
Yeah, you miss it. I mean, you know, it's your life, it's your whole life. So when you're used to the pressure, when you're used to looking forward to the start of the season, working with the players and getting going, you do miss it, you know.
So Mrs Allardyce has had you all summer. I know exactly what will happen.
She might be getting too fed up with me and want me to go back.
Well, you see, now...
It might be the case.
Never say never if you're Sam Allardyce.
If she's watching, it might be the case.
She is watching. She texted me earlier. But apparently, on a serious note, your phone starts ringing about November, December. You're going to enjoy yourself now and you're going to wait for trouble. On a serious note, first question, would you go back?
If it's the right club, I think I would, yeah. I think
miss it.
They're right. You miss it. I think I've still got some years left in me, and I think that having had over 12 months off since West Brom now, you know, I do miss the desire to get in amongst the players, to work with the players, and to use my experience to help a football club. It's no longer for me going to take a football club like Bolton Wanderers did and take them into Europe, or go to Newcastle and try and take them into Europe. It's about going saving a football club, because that's how people have labelled me.
Red Sam.
I'm quite happy with that.
Of course you are. And the bonuses that come with it. Very quickly, an overview of the start of the season. This is my overview.
Yeah.
West Ham had 106 passes in the first half. Man City had about 1,000. They look unbeatable. If I was Eric Van Tag... I mean, Manchester United, they start by losing at home to Brighton. The mystique of that club, nobody's talking about them being in the top four. For me, the performance of the Saturday, and I hate to say it, was Spurs. I think Spurs will be a major, major force under Conte, don't you?
I thought that... I watched that game as well. I thought that the comeback, the shock of the goal early doors, but you can see Conte's influence.
Oh.
Known him for a long time, met him in Juventus many years ago. Came to West Ham when he was national team manager, and that man really is his way or no way. And whatever the Tottenham players thought about who they were or who they weren't, Antonio Conte will say, "It's my way, lads," or
loads
up the road. So he's got them fit, he's got them organised, and there's some good new players being bought by the looks of it.
Loads of questions. Who wins the Premiership?
Manchester City.
Who gets relegated? Southampton.
I think Nottingham Forest, maybe Southampton this year, and whether it may be Bournemouth or Fulham, even though they've started really well, will depend on what they've recruited when the window shuts.
Bolton and Fulham will be phoning this man before Christmas. Let's move on to the Qatar World Cup. This week marks 100 days to the Qatar World Cup. So much written and said. Former Germany captain Philipp Lahm today says he won't be attending it due to the country's human rights record. You, of course, manage Newcastle. Newcastle taken over, as we know, by a Saudi-backed public fund. What's your view on sports washing? Live Golf has come out. There's money being involved now. What's your take on all of that?
Money rules. Across the world, here. You know, bring your money in, you can get in here.
I must say about the European Golf Tour, because I'm passionate about this.
Yeah, the Live Golf,
Well, Live Golf, the DP World Tour is sponsored Dubai ports, and that's Saudi money, so you're right.
So, so it's money talks, and money will talk in sport, in tennis, at golf, at football, at every single level, of course. And now they've got the World Cup, they will want to make the biggest show on earth of the World Cup when it comes in December, of course. I mean, they've spent so much money on the stadiums, which will be obsolete once they're finished, and they want to show what they can do. That's what Dubai started doing. Everybody else has followed that, and because of the wealth of those countries, they will continue to do that.
I never thought I'd get a chance to ask.
They've got the boxing as well.
They have. I never thought I'd get you a chance to ask you, one of my heroes. 6 years ago next month, sacked by England after 67 days. A travesty, in my humble opinion.
Thank you.
And I mean that genuinely, because I know what it meant to you. I know that you've opened up about the toll it took on you because you are England through and through. Here's the question you never thought that you'd be asked. When you watched the semi-final, when you watched the final, the nearest and greatest opportunity this country has had for a long time, you'd have won it, wouldn't you, Big Sam?
Well, I'd have to say yes to that, but that doesn't say that Gareth hasn't done a fantastic job. He has, but, you always back yourself when you got the job. When you've done the job and you waited for it for so long, then you would back yourself from day one. When I walked into St George's Park, that would be the ultimate goal.
When you grow up, football's your life. You make it to England manager. Just as a mate, what did it do to you when they took it away?
Oh, I think there's only family got me through. The family got me through the dark times, the dark period, the depression. I didn't go on TV and talk about it that much like people, I think, should do today. Perhaps I should have talked about it more. But in the end, the family got me through no matter, and lots of friends in football. And then more importantly, later on, Steve Parish, because he gave me my life back as a football manager. And I enjoyed immensely my time with Crystal Palace and Steve Parish, and showing everybody what I can still do. And that was get them out of the relegation zone. But England will always stab me in the heart, but there you go. You have to get over it.
When you see England being successful, does it tinge with a little bit of regret?
Phil, that could be me. There's no danger about that, but in my opinion, that should be me, but it's not. So, and to see that squad and the quality of that squad as well, to think that could have been my opportunity, but you can't cry over spilt milk.
And I guess in the end you go, well, I did get to become the England manager.
Correct.
And that meant that my peers and my employers thought that I was good enough for that. What's next for Big Sam? Waiting for the call.
One would never know. I mean, there's a couple of jobs abroad that I've turned down because it's a bit late in my time of life at 67 to go packing my bags and moving away and going abroad and going. That would have happened 10 years ago. Thankfully, I would have tried it. But now it will hopefully something will turn up. Whether that might be in the Championship again, who knows? But certainly having another shot. I've got a bit itchy again. I've got a bit anxious again, like you mean, because the garden looks okay.
Yeah, and Sammy Lee's annoying you.
Yeah, well, yes. Yeah. Sammy Lee's probably more desperate than I am, Sammy, you know what I mean? Because we have a great partnership there.
Listen, you're one of football's great men. Personally, I thought it was gutting when you lost that England job, but everybody knows how good you are, and I've absolutely no doubt before December, Big Sam will be back saying, yeah, well, we'll do our best. We'll block up the defence and we'll hit some goals and we'll do it.
I had a great 4 years at your club, so...
Moyes not doing bad, is he?
Not bad at all.
Listen.
Absolutely brilliant.
Sam, thank you very much indeed. Sam Allardyce.